News plays an important part in most people's lives. Why is news so important to people? Why is so much news dedicated to bad news? Should the news focus on the good news instead? The news is a vital way of communicating information in everyone's lives. This essay believes that being updated to current events makes news essential to our existence. Firstly, this essay will discuss the importance of news to the general public. Secondly, why there is a large portion of news devoted to horrific events, and lastly, why we should focus more on reporting positive stories. On the one hand, people should rely on news channels to be updated on current events because somehow the general population is always affected by it. Information we have learned from news broadcasts may affect our choices whether we vote for one person or another, learning about a place that has a conflict or to know what is happening with world economics. For example, Pulse Asia in 2015 reported that 98% of presidential candidates in the Philippines counted on media coverage to reach potential voters all over the country. On the other hand, many news networks choose to report about negative occurrences simply because of gaining higher ratings. They rely on the numbers of people who tune into their news programs, as this generates a lot of commercials, thus results in larger revenues since companies pay a lot of money for exposure. For example, an article released by GMA News Philippines in 2014 reported that 89% of their audiences would remember news about horrific crimes rather than news about the economic growth of the country. Lastly, in my opinion, I believe that broadcasters should concentrate more on showing news that inspires other people. Hearing about positive news motivates viewers to have a better view of the world and in society. When disasters strike, often widespread news of people donating food and blankets can promote the cause and motivate others to get involved. For instance, in my own personal experience in 2016 during the Wrath of Haiyan in the Philippines, I was inspired by a news story asking for help, so I sent food and money as a small contribution. In conclusion, people should be informed about the latest happenings around the globe, whether it is a good or bad news. News can also inspire people to work together in times of conflict, during wars, natural disasters and other humanitarian plights. Thank you for your time. For more IELTS preparation resources, visit IELTSachieve.com. The content presented in the audio is the property of IELTSachieve.com and should be used as is. Tampering or reproducing without written permission from the team is strictly prohibited.